Welcome to episode 62 of the Pulse of Physiology. I'm your host, Dr. Jim Davis, and today we're focusing on the nephron structure and how osmolarity changes throughout urine formation. By the end of this episode, you'll understand how the nephron filters plasma, the role of different nephron segments, and how the countercurrent mechanisms maintain the kidney's concentration gradient. So let's get started. As we've mentioned in previous episodes, the nephron is the basic functional unit of the kidney, which is responsible for filtration, reabsorption, secretion, and urine concentration. Each nephron consists of the following structures. The glomerulus and Bowman's capsule, sometimes referred to as the nephron capsule, filters plasma based on size and charge and produces approximately 180 liters of filtrate per day, which is close to 45 gallons. Next, there's the proximal convoluted tubule. This is where 70% of water and solutes are reabsorbed, which means that these substances are being returned to the bloodstream, and this occurs via peritubular capillaries. Then there's the loop of Henle, or the nephron loop, which establishes and maintains the medullary osmotic gradient. After that is the distal convoluted tubule. Under hormonal regulation, this is where sodium, potassium, and calcium balance is fine-tuned. Finally, there's the collecting duct, and this is where urine concentration is adjusted for final time in response to vasopressin or antidiuretic hormone. Filtrate osmolarity changes as it moves through the nephron. In the Bowman's capsule, it's approximately 300 milliosmoles, and plasma is filtered, which produces an isotonic filtrate, meaning it has the same osmolarity as the plasma. In the proximal convoluted tubule, solutes and water are reabsorbed proportionally, which keeps that osmolarity around 300 milliosmoles. In the descending limb of the loop of Henle, this is where water is able to leave because this descending limb is permeable to water but not solutes. So this leads to water loss, which increases osmolarity. Once we go around the loop of Henle, we have the ascending limb. The ascending limb is impermeable to water, but sodium is actively transported out, which reduces filtrate osmolarity. And finally, there's the distal tubule and the collecting duct. The final osmolarity depends on ADH levels. If there's no ADH, that means a dilute urine will be formed, which has a very low osmolarity. However, if there's a high ADH, water is reabsorbed, and this results in a concentrated urine with a filtrate or with a osmolarity of upwards of 1200 milliosmoles. It just depends on how much fluid you've got in your body. Now, this leads us to the countercurrent mechanisms, the multiplier and the exchanger. The countercurrent multiplier occurs because of the loop of Henle. The descending limb loses water due to the high osmolarity of the medulla of the kidney. The ascending limb actively pumps sodium into the medulla, which reinforces that osmotic gradient. Then there's a countercurrent exchanger, and this occurs in the vasa recta. In the descending vasa recta, blood gains solutes and loses water as it moves into the medulla. Okay, and this is the opposite of what happens in the descending limb of the nephron. Now, in the ascending vasa recta, blood gains water and loses solutes as it moves towards the cortex. This preserves the high osmolarity of the medulla, which prevents the washout of solutes. So to summarize, the nephron maintains homeostasis by filtering, reabsorbing, and secreting solutes and water. Filtrate osmolarity changes throughout the nephron, with the loop of Henle playing a key role in urine concentration. The countercurrent multiplier establishes the medullary osmotic gradient, while the countercurrent exchanger preserves it. Final urine concentration depends on vasopressin or ADH activity. So that's it for episode 62 of the Pulse of Physiology. I hope this episode has clarified how nephron structure and osmolarity changes contribute to urine formation. Join me next time for episode 63, where we'll explore glomerular filtration rate, or GFR, and its role in kidney function. Until then, keep questioning, keep exploring, and stay curious.